Live. Have a very good show today. I know it's hard to top the Blantons, but uh, I still think this is going to be a very good one. So we are about ready to get going, about to kick it off. Bear with me. I'm wearing my contacts, which that doesn't work too well, but I wanted to wear some sunglasses, which used to be my normal look. I just always, you never saw me without either sunglasses right here or up on top of my head. I had them all the time. I had LASIK done back in 2000 and had the eyes of an eagle for 12 years. Then I started to it started declining again. And now they're like, well, we can do this $3,000 procedure on you to stop your vision from getting any worse, but we can't make it any better. Okay. I have trouble seeing now. What's stopping it getting any worse? Because you don't even know it's going to get any worse. Anyway, it's not a medical show. I was going to. I had this grand plan in my head. I was going to live stream from another streaming platform, and I was going to be able to stream to Insta as well, which I can't do here for some reason. But I got it all set up, ready to go. Started selecting Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Insta. Insta, you can't, I was like, Facebook, and then I went to click Insta, and it said, you can stream multi-stream with a premium account. Well, I can stream on the one I'm on. I can multi-stream without having a premium account. So anyway, it's all that kind of stuff. So give me just a second. We're gonna kick it off here. I know y'all can't hear this, but just imagine No Name Blues in your head. Hey, Stoners, welcome to another edition of Sticks-n-Stones. Um, you know, First off, I went on live stream just a few seconds ago, a couple of minutes ago. I was kind of talking to those folks. Uh, I have my contacts in today. I know you can't see me, but I don't have my glasses on. And my contacts are not, it's kind of a work in process. I have problems in one eye from having LASIK done 25 years ago. And so I have to wear a contact in that eye, my left eye, that is the center of it is hard, like a hard lens. And then it has a skirt around the outside of it of the regular, like silicone or whatever. And then the other eye, the right eye, that's just a regular contact lens. And it's hard to get my vision corrected because I have ghosting in my left eye. In other words, I see two of the same image, not quite double. It's like smeared. And my optometrist, he's a great guy. He does great work, but I have been his biggest challenge. Um, anyway, I do like to wear sunglasses, so I was trying to get this done, but I may kind of wander off topic a little bit because I can't read my notes. I can, but I may kind of get lost. But anyway, we're going to make it through this. Now, when it comes to pairing whiskey and cigars, I mean, there are some combinations that you just think of as a classic and satisfying. And I believe that I am bringing you one of those pairings today as I pair Old Forester 1920, showing that off to the folks on live stream. And I am pairing it with a cigar from CAO, but it's a little outside the lines. This is one of their flavors series, and it's vanilla. It's called the Bella Vanilla. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think it's got great potential. So I mean, now the Old Forester is a bourbon that really harkens back to the Prohibition era. The 1897, 1910, and 1920 are all the Whiskey Row series, and Old Forester was one of the very few distilleries that were granted permission by the government during Prohibition to continue producing whiskey for medicinal purposes. Whatever I've got, whiskey will handle it. I need a prescription for that. This history is really kind of reflected in the kind of bold and robust flavor that we're going to be seeing in the Old Forester in 1920. Now, this is a classic straight bourbon. Uh, Pardon me. It is from the Brown Forman Company, and it's the distillery is the Shidley. It's an ongoing production. It's not limited or anything like that. This one is a hefty 115 proof, so it's going to have some zing to it. This is fastball material here, since we're in spring training now. It's a non-age statement. The mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. Let's go ahead and glass a little of this up. I'm using my the Dalmore nosing glass. I love the glass. I'll show it to those of you on live stream. It's got the Dalmore's logo on it. It looks like a very small wine glass. I got that from a friend of mine that worked at, he was a representative for the Dalmore. It's a really great scotch, but that's off topic. Here we go. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. It's 115 proof. I'm going to short that pour just a little bit, and I can add more to it later if need be. But I have to be able to finish the show. So I will hold it up for those of you on live stream to see. And if you are getting this on the podcast, the live stream is today, Saturday, and the podcast will drop on about Tuesday. You really should join all of the friends here on the podcast. I mean, on the live stream, because it can be kind of entertaining. But if you look at the spirit in the glass, it's a very deep amber mahogany kind of color. It's got a little bit of a reddish tint to it. Um, it has some pretty good legs. They're maybe a little thin, but pretty good overall. On the nose, now, I will say it's 115 proof. You can imagine there is a little bit of ethanol burn in your nose, but not too much. It's not bad at all. I want to get that out of the way first because the nose on the spirit gives me a lot of like plums or stone fruit, some brown sugar, some hints of chocolate, and I kind of a really nice note of banana. I like that. I mean, so far they're doing good. All right, let's give it a try. Again, as with the nose, there is some ethanol, some alcohol burn on the tongue, but it's not unapproachable at all. Really, I mean, it's really good job on 115 proof. The notes that I get are like a real rich dark chocolate. There's vanilla and caramel and a nice oakiness. And hang on, let me try it again. Something along the lines of, and this might be really more of a kind of a combination of your olfactory and your taste. But I get like a taste of the toasted sweetness on top of a creme brulee. Not really the dessert itself, just where they torch it at the top before they serve it. That part of it, just that it's from creme brulee, but it's just that toasted sweetness. And then I pick up some fresh roasted coffee, coffee beans, not made, but the actual bean. Um, the finish the finish is fairly short, except the alcohol does hang on for a while, but it's very smooth for this proof. And I pick up some baking spices and a touch of like black pepper, peppery spice. Um, this is really good. 115 proof. You don't want to go too heavy. No. But if you're just going to pour you a couple of fingers in a glass and enjoy a cigar, it's a really good spirit. I'm very, very impressed. I thought the 1910 that I did last week, I thought it was really good. I think this is keeping up with it. You just have to be careful when you're drinking it. So now on to the stick. The CAO flavors Bella Vanilla. This particular stick, Vitola, is a Robusto. It's what they call it. It's a 5 by 48. And I'll take their word for it on a 5. I took a Nica Rustica that was 4.5 and put beside it. It looked like it's probably about a half-inch longer than that one. But it's for me, I prefer a little bit larger ring gauge. I typically don't go under 50, but I wanted to give this a try. So anyway, the origin is the Dominican Republic, General Cigars. The filler is Dominican. The binder is a Connecticut broadleaf, and the wrapper is a nice Cameroon. Now, visually, and I remember I'm wearing contacts today, so I'm doing my best here. Take my glasses off. My sunglasses, that is. This is a dark tan, bordering on a medium brown. Uh, it has, well, basically invisible seams. I catch a part of one seam at about a third from the tip, the foot, but most of the stick you really can't see the seams. What you can see is tight. There is I would say even less than minimal veining. There's almost no veining at all, but it does have one very pronounced vein that runs down the stick. And then there's, just some other minor veinings popping up here and there. It does look like it could have a little bit of tooth in it, and it's got a double cap. I hope all of my turning and moving, you've been able to hear all of that. All right, so on to the nose. Now, and I checked this as soon as it was a 5-pack. And so as soon as I opened the cellophane that was around the 5-pack, I put my nose inside it. And I didn't get what I thought I would get. And I'm really not getting it here. I pick up vanilla, but it's not very prolific like the the coffee infused cigars. When you put those to your nose, you smell it. That aroma is very pronounced. This is not that way. Uh, I really the vanilla's in there, but it's mixed in with some notes of cedar and some aged tobacco. It's a very good aroma, but it's a very simple. Uh, like I said, I was a little surprised. All right, we're going to give it a cut here. Now, today, because this is a 48 on the ring gauge, I am not going to V-cut or guillotine. I'm going to go with a punch. I just feel like if I did a V or a guillotine, it could possibly open it up too much. And this is supposed to be a fairly fast smoke anyway, so don't help it out. Put it to my lips, no sweetness at all. There's nothing on the outside of it that indicates that this is, all right, good punch, that this is an infused cigar. If I didn't know, I wouldn't know. Now, it is supposed to be infused with actual Madagascar vanilla beans, not an artificial spray-on flavor. There's a lot of cigars that they'll have a sprayed-on sweet coating, I guess you'd say, out down near the tip, and so you get a lot of sweetness on your lips. They don't do that with this. This is actual vanilla that is infused into this process. So, without babbling on too much more, let's go ahead and light it up. I am using my Rocky Patel Envoy. I probably could have gone with a cigar that's this small on the ring gauge. I probably could have gone with something not quite so hefty, but I love this lighter. Very surprised at the smoke output. There was a tremendous amount of smoke that came off on the light. Again, to smaller gauge cigar, you just don't expect that kind of stuff. I really don't get a lot of vanilla in the draw, just aged tobacco with a little cedar and a little leather. Not much else. There could be a little bit of vanilla hiding back there, but it's not. But it is a very mild and mellow smoke. That's for sure. Got a piece of tobacco on my tongue. All right, let's try them together. Okay. Pretty good. And try it again. The kind of rich and fairly complex flavors of the bourbon really complement that smooth and creamy note, or notes, the creamy notes in the cigar. It kind of creates kind of a harmonious kind of experience. I think even cigar connoisseurs that would tend to shy away from quote unquote infused cigars, I think they would really like this. Not much on the retro inhale either. Um, I mean, really just some aged tobacco. Um, it is a very, very simple cigar, but not in a bad way. Um, when when you paired this cigar with the Old Forester, the 1920, the 1920 really does shine. Um, that you have these simple yet pleasing notes in the cigar, and they really complement the caramel and kind of oaky flavors of the bourbon perfectly. And then you have the hints of vanilla in the spirit as well, kind of coming into that mixture, and it really does make a nice, indulgent, and satisfying experience. Uh, the creamy texture of the cigar, um, it does enhance the smoothness of the whiskey, um, and you get these subtle hints of spice that really kind of provide a nice contrast to the that rich sweetness. Mm. Um, and just from my point of view, the move my glass onto the right hand side. Um, just from my point of view, um, when you when you pair the Old Forester 1920 and this CAO flavors Bella Vanilla cigar, the pairing for the pairing to be successful, you really, well, for any pairing, you have to have a nice balance between the two distinct flavors. You're sipping bourbon slowly. You're allowing those complex layers to kind of unfold onto your palate, and each sip with the smoke, it just kind of melds together, and you find that certain flavors uh, are enhanced or muted depending on how they're combined. And that's one of the big aspects of doing this kind of thing. It takes a lot. It's just like smoke and drink, and I mean they really have to concentrate. Where if you're just sitting on the back porch with your buddies or your girlfriends, uh, you're telling stories and jokes or watching a game or whatever, and you're not really concentrating on the flavors. But when you sit down and really put your mind to it and allow all of your senses to focus, uh, you can really get some exceptional pairings. Hmm. All right, for those of you on the podcast, I'm going to burn this stick down to the halfway mark, and I will come back and give you an update. And for you on the live stream, I'm going to hold on with you for a little while. See, if you're listening to the podcast, you need to hit up the live streams. I try to give at least a 5-minute indicator that I'm going live. I blasted out a picture of what I was pairing today on all my social medias. It said, "Hey, I'm going live in 5." Here I am. Y'all need to join the live stream. All right, I'll be back for y'all. Always want to watch, make sure it does just pause. That's less editing I have to do. This is it is a really great smoke. Um, I don't know if it's really my kind of smoke, not from flavor profile or anything like that. I just I don't prefer smaller ring gauge cigars. 50 is generally my floor, but I wanted to try these. And It is a good cigar. Cannot knock it for its quality of construction and and its overall performance. Little wavy, not bad at all. Nothing serious on the burn. Nice stacks of ash on this first half to 3/4 of an inch. Uh, and it does. I will say that the 115 proof maybe overshadows the cigar just a little bit because the alcohol on the palate, that hangs on. The individual flavors kind of fall away, but that slight alcohol burn hangs with you for 15, 20 seconds, long after the flavors have kind of died off. So anyway, if somebody gives you some of these or you just have a hankering to give them a try, it is definitely worth a try. It is. It is a good cigar as far as the smoking and performance. It's a good cigar, and it's small. You know, it'll fit in pretty much any of your cigar carriers. Where, a big 5x54, probably not so much. This has absolutely nothing to do with cigars and spirits, but it's been on the news for like the last 48 hours, 72 hours. It's terrible. That's I live in Texas, but that student that she wasn't a student at UGA at the University of Georgia, but she was like on the campus or whatever, gone out for a run and disappeared, and then come to find out, illegal from Venezuela killed her. Not not picking sides, being political. I believe what is best for the American people, not what's best for the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. What's best for the American people? What's best for the American people is get that border secured and bring people in the right way and vet them out. We've got people pouring over the border. We have no idea who they are. And guys just like this wind up killing somebody. So, anyway, pisses me off. I have to say, this is a very, I'm kind of repeating myself, but this is a very, very good cigar. I just tend to not like the size. I like them fatter. Um, but you can't, for as simple as the palette is on it, it's very good. It's not off-putting in any way. Um, you get, more cedar and leather and just maybe some hints of vanilla. Not much. It's not what you would expect because this is an infused cigar. Um, if somebody took the bands off of it and just handed you a cigar and you lit it up, you wouldn't know it's infused. You wouldn't, because what little bit of vanilla is there just kind of blends in with all the others. You can pick them out, but it's not really pronounced like the coffee infused cigars are, or the ones that you buy at, the convenience store, the cherry white owls or whatever. This is a premium cigar, and it carries its weight. I cannot fault it for that at all. And I told you a few minutes ago that it was a little wavy. It's really, the waves are almost gone. This is a very, very good cigar. Really great quality. General Cigar Company. It's a Dominican cigar. I do like the Cameroon wrapper on it. Uh, it's just it's not very complex. It's very simple and straightforward, and that's why I say it is a great smoke because it is what it is. And all right, let's try them together again. All right, I just thought of this as I was tipping the glass up. This is a really great cigar for a pairing where you want to concentrate a little more on the spirit. it is that kind of cigar. It's not going to overpower the spirit. It's going to kind of come in and shore it up uh, and support it. And it's got the cedar and the leather and the little bitty hints of vanilla in it and that kind of creaminess to really support the spirit, but it's not going to overshadow the spirit. So if you have a really good scotch or a really good bourbon, you got a Blanton's or E.H. Taylor, or happen to have a Pappy, this would be a really good cigar for it because it will let that spirit shine. It will, but you're still getting the benefit of smoking a cigar. And we're a good inch plus in, and the ash is still hanging on. It doesn't even have a curl to it. A lot of times, kind of like those commercials with a carrot, you got ED problems or Peyronie's disease, and it's like, no, nice straight ash, and I'm being kind of gentle with it, just seeing how long it holds on. But we're starting to get close to the halfway mark, and it doesn't show any signs of dropping off. Of course, it could drop in my lap at any second. Nurse the spirit a little bit. That is a really good spirit. You got to be careful. That is 115 proof, and it shows it. But it is delicious. You definitely, you know, you don't want to be like heavy pouring into an old fashioned glass. You want a Glencairn or a stemmed nosing glass like I'm using here today, and you just put a shot or two in it, and that's it. Don't be doing more. You'll wake up tomorrow wondering how you got in the front yard. I am hoping that spring has sprung here in Texas. It has been in the 70s for like almost a week, and I think there's a little dip coming in the next few days. But when I say a little dip, I'm talking about upper 50s, low 60s. Lows at night might get into the 30s, like 38, 39. But, and I want to finish this, and I was going to smoke a Nika Rustica after this. And I thought about going and sitting on the other side of the pool over there. The water's still way too cold. The thermometer in the pool says it's like 59. Yeah, we swim at like 80, 82. But I can take a chair over on the other side to the sitting area and enjoy another cigar out in the sun while I get a little bit of vitamin D and pick up a little bit of tint on these white legs, because I'm going to be going down to the Sticks-n-Stonez Southern Command there on the Redneck Riviera this summer, and I've lost all this weight. I'm going to have the beautiful Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez beside me. Looking forward to it, but I can't go down there white. Well, I don't ever get like pasty white. I do have a little bit of Native American in my genealogy, so I do keep a tint pretty much all the time. Tint. That's about it. Like you can still see, even we're now in February, you can see my tan line from last summer. And I stopped laying on the tanning bed. There it went on live. Damn it, me. Fortunately, it didn't. It didn't do any damage. All right, back in business. It lasted about an inch and a half. Yeah, better than just the tip. And I do apologize if anybody has made any comments. I've got contacts in, and I can see really well far away, but I can't see very well close up. And I mentioned this early on, right when we started. I was talking about making it hard for me to see my notes. But I have my left eye is misshapen, and so the light doesn't hit the back the way it's supposed to. And I have this ghosting all the time. It's like I see 1.5 of everything. Uh, and so they can somewhat correct it with a hard contact lens that kind of forces my eye to be shaped right. But it also means that I can't just go into a store and buy some of those cheap ass reading glasses, because I have to have, even though I'm wearing contacts, I have to have reading glasses that has 2 different prescriptions in it. Yeah. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. If it weren't for bad luck, all of my luck, I tell Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez all the time, you don't ever have to worry about me winning the lottery. I spent all of my luck on you. And I did. He's wonderful. That Old Forester, it is a really complex spirit. And it, like I was saying just a few minutes ago about the cigar, and it being really simple and not overpowering, and letting the spirit shine. I mean, it really does. It's uh, it's just got this kind of rich dark chocolate and vanilla and oakiness to it, and some caramel. Um, and then I think I use the explanation or example of, like, if you just scrape the toasted sweetness off the top of a creme brulee and just ate that, that's the kind of flavor you get. Not the underlying dessert part, but just that crusty layer that they hit with the torch right before they bring it to you. And it hits you with a torch because it's 115 proof, and it's not overpowering. I mean, I've had 151 Bacardi and Everclear, so this is not like that. But at 115 proof, it's still got a nice little bite to it. But I think where I started this conversation was with my eyes, and this is how I rabbit trail. Uh, if any of you are making comments, I can't read them. I can't see that small. Not the way I'm constituted right at the moment with these contacts in. But your comments are appreciated. And also, thinking about this as I tip the glass up. Um, it looks like I have to get it at just the right angle. It looks like the live stream's been on for 39 minutes, and I didn't light the cigar until about the 10-minute mark. So we're at 28 minutes, and I'm just about to bring the folks back on to give them the update. So this is definitely not going to be a hour 15 kind of burn. This is going to be more like a 45-minute cigar. So again, I'm not much on the smaller ring gauges, but if you don't have a lot of time and you're looking for just a really good cigar, this kind of fits the bill. So, all right, we'll go ahead and bring the other folks back in while y'all talk amongst yourselves. Hey, stoners. I am back. I will say, as we have moved into the halfway mark and moving through the halfway mark, I do think the vanilla has picked up just a little. Uh, the notes have increased slightly, but not much. It is slight. And as you continue enjoying this pairing, you will kind of likely notice how each of the components kind of elevate. They elevate each other. Uh, the vanilla notes that are in the bourbon are now becoming a little more pronounced in the cigar, and it really adds to the enjoyment. Uh, it creates just a really great experience of flavor that is, I don't know, greater than the sum of the two parts. There's there's really not a lot of spice in the flavorings, but the whiskey being at 115 proof does bring a spicy component to it, and so that kind of melds with the uh, the sweetness, especially that's in the spirit, with the caramel and that creme brulee crust and vanilla and caramel. Uh, and when you pair it with this cigar that does just have a little bit of vanilla to it, but other than that, it's mainly just kind of an aged tobacco that's smooth and mellow and easy to smoke. Um, I mean, it really allows you to create or appreciate the the complexity of the nuances, especially in the spirit. Uh, and quite honestly, I'm sitting here talking, and we're probably only about the way this is burning, maybe 10 minutes away from being done. So, uh, but I won't make you sit around and listen to all of that. It is kind of hard on, because I'm not Joe Rogan or anything. I don't have like hours of material just to talk about. Uh, you know, so those of you that are on the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the band, and I will come back and give you an update. And those of you that are on the live stream, I guess I'll just stay with you. You know, 5 o'clock, Charlie. I really do. I really do like that spirit. Um, it's good. Would I place it in my top 10? I don't know about that, because I've got some really good spirits in my top 10. And we'll talk about whiskeys. We'll talk about tequilas or rums or anything. I need to get back to a tequila. Um, I'm going to get a really nice extra aged anejo uh, to pair with the cigar. So when I tried the tequila ocho, uh, it's a really good tequila, and I was just using their base blanco, uh, but I did find that there is some there's some really great tequilas out there. Tequila is not just, oh, hey, we're drinking it down to get to the worm. No, I mean, it is a spirit that you can sip and enjoy just like you can a whiskey. It's amazing. Because all you ever hear about is, you know, people going out and shooting, shooting tequila shots and, waking up, laying in their front yard the next morning. Hmm. But if you want to burn one, don't have a lot of time. Hmm. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Oh, by the way, I am wearing my Don't Tread on Me 1776 Gadsden Snake, rattlesnake shirt from Freedom Fatigues. Go to Freedom Fatigues. Our website, sticksandstones.com, STICKSNSTONEZ.com. And there on the front page is a link to Freedom Fatigues, where you get 10% off. And they have some great, patriotic gear like this. I've got shirts. It's got the Betsy Ross flag with 2A inside the Ring of Stars. Um, I've got a couple of hats that are, one of them's desert camo with American flag on it. One of them's gray, American flag on it. I wear that one at the gym every time I go to the gym. So people don't have to look at that. But and I can't wear my cowboy hat. It just doesn't look right. Flopping around while I'm on the elliptical machine. Speaking of the elliptical machine, tell you a story while we're burning this down. I spent 21 years in the military across 3 branches. People always seem surprised by that, but in the last unit I was in for 12 years, and we had a whole bunch of people that they may not have been in 3, but you had a whole lot of people that were Navy prior service or Army prior service, Marine prior service, and it was an an Air Force Reserve unit. But anyway, we got activated 2004 and sent out to Fort Bragg, Pope Air Force Base there on Fort Bragg. Pope doesn't no longer exists; it's all Army now. But we were out there. Of course, we were getting ready to be deployed overseas to parts unknown. And so I'm in the gym. We're at a hotel. There's a whole bunch of us in there. It's all us, all people I know. And I'm on the treadmill. I'm just a getting it. And my stuff is laying over on a chair kind of back behind me. And at that point in time, I was married to a demon, a Satan's angel from hell. There's a book coming out. Watch for it. But anyway, and yeah, I had to stay on my toes, and you answered when she called. So somebody said, "Hey, Elrod, phone's ringing," and I turned around just to kind of acknowledge them. Fortunately, cell phones, the cameras were not quite that sophisticated back then, because I immediately went down onto the tread and got shot off the back of that machine. As embarrassing. Put a big old strawberry on my leg, on my knee, and then she didn't want anything. Well, she wanted to BITCH. That's all she wanted to do, all the time. Yeah, I went opposite ends of the spectrum with the 2 times I've been married. First time, some people will be like, "Oh, I married for lust. I don't even know why. I don't know." But when I found Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez, she's wonderful in every way. She is my angel. Oh God, I hate these dogs behind us. Just between us, the back fence back here is half of the back fence is one house, and the other half of the back fence is another house, and they both have shithead dogs that like to bark, and they just fight with each other, you know, uh, and it always manages to mess up my recordings, or I'm chilling in the pool, whatever. But anyway, it's the way it is. I'm hoping when I retire that there's going to be a ST involved in the location that I relocate to, and it's going to be a much more tropical location. I'll be doing my live streams from the beach in Cayman Islands, St. Bart's, something like that, where there's a lot of white sand beach and crystal clear water. And I do like, the, Southern Command I have right now down on the Redneck Riviera. But, I would just like to get a little farther down south. And really, when you think about it, we don't have any idea how long this experiment that we've been doing since 1776 is going to last. So, not talking politics, but this bumbler in chief that we got right now, man can't get up a flight of stairs, but he's got access to the nuclear codes. Almost done. I said at the halfway mark we might have about another 10 minutes, and best I can see. Okay, yeah, it's been more than 10. So we're getting there though. We're almost down. This is a 45-minute smoke. This is not a hour and 15 smoke. If you make it last an hour, that's because you kept setting it in the ashtray and leaving it for several minutes, because it burns pretty fast. And it's a very simple profile. Some cedar and some leather. The vanilla kind of picked up at the halfway mark, but this has never been, even though it is an infused cigar, it was never like an infused cigar. The vanilla in the first half was very, very minimal. You don't really smell it at all. Even I opened it was a 5-pack. I opened the cellophane, stuck my nose inside the 5-pack. Now there's almost no vanilla traceable in it, and what is there is very slight. It is just a very smooth and mellow and mild smoke that is predominantly like aged tobacco and cedar and leather. That's it. And it really allows you to focus on your spirit. So if you have a really good spirit that you're wanting to pair, then this would be a good cigar for it, because it will allow that spirit to shine through, where some other cigars might overpower. All right. I emptied it. And I'm not going to fill it up again, because 115 proof, that is a very potent spirit. I'm gonna bring the podcast folks back on so we can close this thing out. Hey, stoners, I am back. In conclusion, I can say that the Old Forester 1920, paired with the CAO flavors, Stella Vanilla, it does seem to me like a very classic combination that showcases, really kind of an elegance and a sophistication. The cigar's vanilla notes picked up only slightly in the last half, so don't try and get stuck on that vanilla flavored aspect, because it is not like any other kind of infused cigar. The folks that are on the live stream are probably like, yeah, you said that like a dozen times, probably more than that. But the podcast and the live stream are two separate things. So I have to tell you guys, and then the podcast people, the live stream people get it just ingrained into their head because they've heard it so much. But the cigar is a very, very pleasant smoke. The really rich flavors of caramel and oak and vanilla in the bourbon just harmonize beautifully with that light hint of vanilla note in the cigar. and then just the aged tobacco. The bourbon is excellent. The palate notes are wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I do believe that the spirit is probably better than the stick. But as I've said, the stick is just a great pairing stick. It can it can go with pretty much anything, and it will make you concentrate on the spirit, and will reinforce, underpin that spirit. Uh, the I would give the spirit, the Old Forester 1920. I would give it probably an 88. Uh, as I was going through this, I was thinking maybe 90, but it's really good, and it's very approachable to be a high proof spirit. But I think I like the 1910 better. Uh, I think I gave the 10 somewhere around a 92. So the 1920, like I said, is very good, and you should definitely try it. I picked up the Whiskey Row series. It was a half bottle of the 1897, the 1910, and the 1920, and it was like $90, where uh, a fifth of any of the bottles individually was like 60. So I get to try and get to pair for you the entire series for less than $100, and I think that was a great deal. Um, and I am very glad I had this 1920, because I'm gonna pair it again. I want to try to reach out there a little more, and see if I can bring in some other nuances from the stick. This stick, I would give it an 80 out of 100. It was really good. It was really great pairing with this spirit, and it would go with pretty much anything, and does allow you to focus on the spirit. Um, it had a very simple profile of some light hints of vanilla that kind of picked up a little bit as we went through the cigar, but predominantly you were getting cedar and leather and maybe a little bit of oak. Not even really any spice off of the stick. Uh, so you're really looking to your spirit to give you the complexity. So you can buy the cigar, and then you can find a really great complex spirit to pair it with, and I think you would be thoroughly happy. You could pair it with Gentleman Jack, which is a great smooth spirit, but not a high priced or overly complex spirit. But it's very smooth, very mellow, just like the cigar is. I may actually try that, and just kind of see how they do together. So I hope you've enjoyed this pairing as much as I have enjoyed bringing it to you. Leave me comments. Let me know what you think of each of the offerings, if you've tried them together or if you tried them with other things. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, so that you know when I drop new content, and you can spread the word. Um, Visit the website, sticksandstones.com, STICKSNSTONEZ.com. You can see blog posts that I have blogged about all kinds of stuff. Boston Tea Party, and I mean the one from the 1770s. Whiskey and cigars and a little bit of everything. Try to be, all inclusive so that everybody can find something. Uh, you can also find our old episodes, so you can listen to old episodes from the website. And you can see the page with all of our affiliate partners. Freedom Fatigues, like the shirt I've got on right now, veteran-owned business out of South Carolina. They're great folks. They make great products. Uh, Caliber Coffee. I love Caliber Coffee. It is delicious. That is another veteran-owned business. Definitely need to support those folks. Fanatics, if you are into sports like I am. I'm a Texas A&M Aggie. Get on. And but they have pretty much any team you support. College, pro sports of all kinds. Even they even have like band shirts and stuff. So now I don't mean you can't use them. I mean of bands, musical bands, um, all kinds of stuff. So great folks there too. Um, And of course, Cigars International, where we get our cigars from, Total Wine, where we get our spirits from, and Tip Top Proper Cocktails. Buy some pre-mixed cocktails that are made with the actual spirit, not the malt liquor stuff. They are wonderful. Go and watch my video where I reviewed like a half a dozen of their offerings. By the time I got done, I was done for the day. I had 6 different cocktails. I drank. The cans were like, I don't know, 4 ounce, 6 ounce cans, and I drank all 6 of them. But I didn't want to waste anything, so that was a pretty good time. Anyway, so until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day.